Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Dante Jones, owner of 772 Mobile Detail and representing Hustle Harder Than the Next. Today I'll be doing an express detail on this Yukon, interior and exterior. Originally, this block of time was open. I did not have a booking because my previous client did cancel. So I had to do a couple things in order to fill this block of time, which I'll get into later in this video. And maybe you guys can take a couple strategies away from this video to apply to your own business. So whenever you get cancellations, you can do the same thing or something similar to fill it just like I did. At the time of recording, we're at 398 subscribers. So I would like to thank everyone that's been watching, that's been liking and commenting on the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe so we can continue growing and increasing our reach on the detailing industry while I provide satisfying, educational, and informative content on my detailing business as we grow over time. So we're doing an express detail, and I've detailed this vehicle once before. I believe it was about a month and a half ago that I previously worked on this vehicle. So what I'm grabbing for is something I haven't talked about yet on the channel, but it's one of my most important cleaners, my most important products on the channel and in my business. And this is Optimum No Rinse. You've likely heard about this before, but I want to talk about what I use this product for and also provide some insight on the stability that this product has brought onto my interior and exterior process. Within this pump sprayer is a mixture of distilled water and 2 capfuls of Optimum No Rinse, and you can see me being very generous with the amount I am using on this door panel as well as the door jambs. And in addition to that, I move on to the next door panel behind me. The mentality behind this is the less steps I have to take in order to complete a task, the quicker I can move. So in one whole step, I can mist the glass, the panel, the door jambs, not only on the front door, but the back door as well. So when I come back with my towel, I can just wipe the whole front door off, the whole back door off, hit the jambs, hit the glass, and then the entire driver's side is done. I can do the same thing for the passenger side and continuously be able to work. This is one of the biggest benefits of having Optimum No Rinse, because as ONR sits on a door panel or glass, as long as you're using distilled water, you can let it sit for a very long time before you have to worry about any sort of staining at all. In fact, I personally don't worry about staining anything with ONR, but definitely be cautious if it's your first time using it. Although I think you'll discover quickly that this is a very user-friendly product. I also use ONR on the leather seats as well. It's not going to clean these seats at a high level if they are more than lightly dirty, to be completely honest with you. I would definitely grab my PNS Express cleaner if that were the case, but these seats are well maintained and not dirty at all. The main concern is the floorboards, honestly. So when you can clean from the top of the vehicle downwards with just one cleaner, you know you're dealing with something very versatile. And again, we're talking pretty much all hard surfaces, including the glass. I have actually stopped buying glass cleaner. I have not bought a glass cleaner in like 2.5 years, I'm pretty sure, because ONR works perfectly for glass. So I'm not spending anything on glass cleaner. And since you're using just a capful or 2 per spray bottle that you're pouring up with distilled water, it will last you a very long time. I bought 4 gallons worth of ONR last year, about halfway through, and I've still only gone through 1 gallon of it. And that's with me filling up my thank you bottles that I leave behind for my clients. So those blue spray bottles that you see is just a lowly diluted form of ONR. And I say lowly because I put in more ONR to give it that nice, attractive blue pop color that I like to leave behind for my clients. This does make the cleaner stronger, and it doesn't really have the capability of damaging anything, even in this stronger form. So it's a very mild cleaner, but in certain instances is very, very, very useful. As I scrub away at these mats using my PNS Express cleaner, I also want to talk about what else I use ONR for. So as y'all saw, I use ONR on the door jambs. I only use this on jambs if the jambs aren't that dirty. If jambs are really dirty, I'll grab for my pressure washer and a more aggressive cleaner to get most of the gunk out, and then I'll follow up with ONR. ONR is a rinseless wash, so its purpose, so to speak, is to encapsulate dirt. So when you wipe down an area like a door jamb that may have a little bit of dirt or dust in it, that encapsulated dirt in the chemical of ONR will be wiped without worrying about abrading or scratching the door jamb itself. Now, before I continue talking about ONR, I want to talk about my method of cleaning these mats here, right? I'm not taking them out of the vehicle, and you guys might be rolling your eyes saying, Dante, you're a detailer. How are you not taking these mats out of the car? This is an express detail. It's a vehicle that I've maintained a couple times now, and I feel like if you are going to pay for an express detail, you're going to get express results. I'm still a detailer. I still detail at a high level, as you guys can see, but taking these mats would just add a lot of time, and the majority of the under area, I would like to say, of these mats is pretty immaculate. This is a pretty new vehicle, and these mats are not taken out of the car. But as I'm vacuuming, which is hard to display while I'm holding the camera, I will vacuum the border areas of the mats that are in the vehicle. But taking them out all the way, washing them off, drying them off, and then putting them back in is not necessarily suitable for something like an express detail in my personal business. But I won't knock you if your business operates a bit differently. The wheel cleaner I'm using today is by Suds Lab. It is their XA Zero Acid wheel cleaner, but this time it's diluted 1-to-1. So I've been using it full strength because when you go to the store and you buy the bottle form of it, you can't open the cap of the bottle for whatever reason. You can't dilute it yourself. You have to go on Amazon and buy the half-gallon version that I just showed you guys a little bit earlier. Now, quickly before I get into how I was able to acquire this detail, even though I had a very short notice cancellation, I want to finish up my thoughts on ONR. So the primary reason I bought ONR in the first place is, one, affordability. It will last a very long time. But two, I believe it's the most affordable way to prevent water spots during the summer months. So when I'm working outside during the summer here in Florida, it gets very hot. And as you would know, if you work in hot weather, the paint and glass can flash very quickly. So what I like to do when I'm cleaning a vehicle during the summer is I'll wash one side of the vehicle and then I'll mist it with ONR. I'll go to the other side of the vehicle, I'll mist it with ONR. You can do this as long as you're using distilled water to prevent water spots in most cases. Sometimes hard water is very, very hard depending on where you're at, and the hard water will cut through the ONR and it may leave spotting, and the spotting that is left behind in this situation is usually not as stubborn to get off if it occurs. But in my experience, I would estimate over the course of doing 800 or so cars in totality that 90% of the time, this has been never a concern of mine. There have been instances where I've let cars dry on their own in the sun after misting it with ONR, the entire vehicle top to bottom, glass, paint, wheels, all of that. And not one single area had a spot left behind. Now, I'm not saying this is something you should absolutely do. I think it's something you should avoid doing, avoid allowing the vehicle to dry in the sun, period. But as a precautionary measure, ONR works really, really well and at least buying you a lot of time, and in my mind, unlimited time. But I don't treat it as such. I am always erring on the side of caution when using a process such as this process, but it's something that's really added a convenience and a safeguard for my business against things like the sun baking water into the paint and ruining potentially my work. Have you used Optimum No Rinse? Is it something you would recommend to someone else? Is it something you wouldn't recommend to someone else? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. But now let's talk about how I acquired this client and acquired this detail. So this client has several vehicles that I work on, but in this particular instance, I had a cancellation that I posted about on Facebook. So I posted in a Facebook group, and I also posted on my Facebook page directly. You can see on the post that I'm offering a special. So with purchase of any of my express or full detailing packages, I am including paint decontamination, so iron remover, plus application of my 6-month ceramic spray wax for no additional cost, valued at about $50. So off rip, people know that they're getting about $50 of value from me for free. And I'm doing this because if you're going to help me fill in this gap of time for my business, I'm going to help you with a price break. Deals like this have come in clutch many times for my business, and it does usually end up panning out for me. And at times when my books are really, really slow, in the slower months, I will run a couple weeks of this same exact promotion to help incentivize interest. And not only was I able to fill in the cancellation with this vehicle, I also booked 2 other details that I had no intentions of having pop up on my radar. But since I made the post and put myself out there, I now have 2 other clients on the schedule as well as a result of this cancellation post. So when you're struggling and you feel like you can't do anything to get out of it, and you haven't been posting to the highest level that you know you can, sometimes one post can make all the difference in your week. Don't worry about the engagement. Don't worry about the views. Don't worry about the likes. My post only got 3 total likes, but I got 3 total jobs out of the post. That's 3 opportunities to build my business even further than I otherwise would have. Had I just been sad or upset about the cancellation and sulked in it and not taken action, I would have not worked this day, and that's less money in my pocket and less leverage for my business to grow. So that being said, guys, I covered a lot of content in this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you found any of it valuable. And once again, I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to do what I love here on the channel. Let's continue to grow. Stay blessed. Hustle harder than next. I'll catch you in the next one. Dante out.